Hi, Susan Niskotsky Smith, Unshakable Susan Smith. Tonight I'm going to prep for you an incredible recipe I found on the Six Sisters Stuff site. I have subscribed very inexpensively for an entire year of their gluten-free recipes. I think it cost me $48 for a year. That's $4 a month. Super easy, simple, gluten-free. All right, I'm going to be making Fiesta pork chops and rice. I'm going to make it live for you right here. The first thing it calls for is heating some oil in a pan. I'm going to use olive oil. I have my nice bottle that I got at Lavender Farms here in Texas. I'm heating my olive oil. I need to turn my temperature down a little bit. All I'm going to do is I am going to take 6 to 7 pork chops. Now, I did pre-season my pork chops with some garlic, but it's okay, we're going to use them anyway. We're going to put 6 to 7 pork chops. I pre-seasoned them with garlic last week, and then they've been in the freezer. They thawed overnight in my refrigerator. So that's the first 4 in the pan. And we're cooking them for 2 to 3 minutes on each side. So now I've got a 5th one in the pan. A 6th one in the pan. I'm going to save the last 2 in the refrigerator for my son Charles. That way, if he doesn't care for the Fiesta pork chops, he can fry his own pork chops later. Okay, so while those are cooking 2 to 3 minutes on each side, I'm going to mix the foundation for this Fiesta pork chop casserole. Super easy. All right, it calls for a 14-ounce can of chicken broth, 8 ounces of tomato sauce, 1 4-ounce can of diced green chilies, and then it calls for 1 cup of uncooked long grain rice. Well, this is 16 ounces. There's 8 ounces in the cup. So I'm going to put half of the package of long grain rice in here. I'm going to go with a little more because I have some big boys. And it calls for some gluten-free taco seasoning. So we've got the gluten-free taco seasoning. Okay, and that adds that spice. It's time for me to turn my pork chops. I'm sorry, there's a device or something in the background that I forgot to turn off. If you'll accept my apologies. So I have 6 to 7 pork chops. I'm doing 2 to 3 minutes on each side. I did the chicken broth, the tomato sauce, the diced green chilies, the taco seasoning, the long grain rice. I am going to mix that together. What I've reserved here to the side is 1 cup of diced red and yellow and green bell peppers and onion. Now, I could have chopped all of those from fresh, but it was much easier for me to buy them in a bag in the freezer section at my store. It was a mixture of the chopped peppers and the chopped onion. We're going to save that for the top of the casserole. So, the directions call for me to sprinkle some salt and pepper on those pork chops. I want to use the salt from my friend. I'm looking for the pink. I couldn't find it right now. Can't lay my hand on it. So I will use kosher salt just because it is a bigger size crystal of salt than fine table salt. I was looking for my, I really wanted to find my pink Himalayan salt from my friend. All right, so we're going for a few more minutes because a couple of those pork chops are thicker. So now what we're going to do is we sprayed a 13 by 9 baking pan. We are going to pour the chicken broth, tomato sauce, green chili, taco seasoning, uncooked rice into the pan. We're going to mix it so it's all incorporated. All that means when it's fancy and it says all incorporated, it just means everything mixed together. So we essentially have a tomatoey broth. It's got those green chilies floating in it. And the rice is forming a basin on the bottom. All right, almost done. 2 of these look great. We're going to lay the pork chops on the bed of rice and tomato and chilies. So it's tomato, taco sauce, chilies. Remember, these pork chops have only been cooked 2 to 3 minutes on each side. That last one was a little hot. Remember, I did 6 and I saved 2 in case my son Charlie, who's a little bit of a finicky eater, chooses not to eat. These look good. 2 to 3 minutes on each side. We are just laying them into the casserole on top of the bed of rice with the rich tomato chili paste on it, or not paste, tomato chili sauce on it. It's there. They look wonderful. One of them's a little big, so I'm going to trade it out with this smaller one. I think that middle one is the one setting it off. There we go. You want to make sure that they are covered in the tomato sauce to the best of your abilities. We're going to put this little one in the middle. There we go, much better. All right, so we now have our rice with the sauce, and the pork chops are laying on top of it. And we are going to, it says to place the pork chops on top of the rice mixture and then top it with the red and green peppers. So we're going to top it with the red, green peppers and the onion. We're kind of spreading it out in the casserole. Doesn't that look gorgeous? It looks gorgeous, and it looks ready to make. And it's going to be our Fiesta pork chops with rice. So we're going to cover that with aluminum foil. We're going to cook that for 1 hour or until the rice is tender. The pork will probably be done at 40 to 45 minutes, but that long grain rice needs 40 minutes to an hour to tenderize. So you'll check it to see at about a 45-minute mark. Once you've cooked it, you remove it from the oven, and then you take Monterey Jack or a Mexican blend or a Colby cheddar, a Colby Jack, and you sprinkle a cup on top and let it melt. You serve it in a bowl if you'd like, or by itself with a side salad. So thank you for joining me. That was the Fiesta pork chops on rice.